And KG, love can bring out the best in people, but it can do the opposite if the relationship is tinged with uncertainty.
That's right, which brings up the question, is it okay to gather intel on your partner without their knowledge?
I don't know. Jackie Denker dives headfirst into the murky ethical waters of the question to spy or not to spy. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
If no one is around and a text message or email pops up on your partner's phone,
it's a little tempting to maybe take a little peek, right?
People do it.
But is it right? To weigh in on the subject, we turn to world-renowned relationship expert Susan Winter. Starting with, is it okay to do background digging in the early stages of a relationship?
First dates, you've met the person, they're like, wow, I've lived in Geneva, I have a home in Luxembourg, I traveled the world, I've got a private jet. You may say to yourself, wow, this sounds a little too good to be true.
So she says,
You've got to do your research. In an initial chat phase,
she says snooping on the person's background is okay. You know, to make sure you're not being catfished.
LinkedIn, maybe to check out their work.
Exactly. Do a Google search. Go to Facebook and try and see if you've got any kind of social media background that substantiates that they are who they say they are and that their job is what they say their job is.
Now let's talk about if you have the urge to snoop in a committed relationship.
Snooping in a relationship is in lieu of honest, direct questioning. It's not your go-to.
So she says try talking to your partner, but
if you have asked your partner, you've had honest dialogue, and you have truly valid concerns, things that do not add up, and you're really feeling in the dark, then I think you have a certain degree of permission, not from me specifically, but generally speaking, to further investigate.
And that could look like
looking at the computer history, or looking at a phone when it's open, or listening by the door.
So it's a little bit of an investigation.
It is.
Try to make it a learning moment.
This nearly brought us apart. I don't want to snoop, but I need you to tell me the truth. Let's make a commitment to do that, right?
Next, what happens when snooping turns into full-blown spying?
Spying is overt. Spying is getting in your car and hiding behind different cars and following your mate and seeing if they're going to work. Spying is walking into a restaurant hoping to catch them with somebody else.
When is that okay, or is it okay?
That is the very, very, very last resort. If you need to make a decision about the relationship and you have a body of evidence of things that don't add up, you may need to know that for your sanity and resolution.
Finally, she says try and choose communication before you snoop or spy.
All that, spying, snooping, it's the last choice you should make in a healthy relationship.
Instead, try something like,
let's sit down,
right.
Let's chat.
That dialogue has to come from a very healthy, grounded place that's given with love, and make it brief, make it concise.
Yep.
This is what I'm feeling, doesn't add up, help me. Help me to trust you. Please tell me what's going on here.
Learning the answer to the question to spy or not to spy is at the top of the list.